This is a TvZ, and I'm generally focusing on my TvT and TvP. So I'm not focusing as much on my TvZ lately, but I have a TvZ build I like. It's a early CC, early command center into Mech. I need to check to make sure he's doing that, which he is. He's expanding, so I don't have to worry about early lings, baneling bust, roach bust, anything like that. So I'm good. Do my command center, do my barracks, supply depot out here, double gas, take an orbital, build a marine. Kind of want to check on the thirds, taking super early thirds, which he's not. So he's not taking a super early third, which is good. If he does that, I probably should take another command center. Take my second right now, take a command center. So I'm getting aggression going. I mean, he's getting aggression going. Those lanes. So got a bunker. Deflect. Get my orbital here. Get my gas and gas. I've got my factory with the tech lab for my first round of tanks. I throw down a scan. I just see the baneling nest. Layers coming, so from the baneling nest I put another supply depot. Make a sort of a heavier wall here. Bunker here. This is probably unnecessary, but I'm being overly protective. And eBay and armory. So I want the armory now so I can start doing hellbats. Lings are coming. If you look at this income, he's ahead. He's got 40 to 30. But right now, again, I'm building all my production facilities. And with Terran, you have to build up your production and take a slight disadvantage while you're building SCVs, which I am, tons of SCVs. Or you have to just build out units bit by bit, but that's a slower process, and Zerg will get ahead. So now that I know I'm safe, I don't need to worry about units. I need to worry about a lot of production facilities. So as you can see, I got my tank out, and now I can come out here and safely take this. No lings, no baneling, nothing is going to harm me with a tank up here and some marines down there. I look around, take my gases, and if you look at the worker count, we're even now, 38 to 37, and that's perfect. 3 turrets, 2 turrets, reactor, tech lab for stim, tanks, hellbats tanks, which are not coming yet, +1, and if you look at the muling, you know, I'm in pretty good shape here with my mules. I'm at 1400 to his 15. Workers are roughly even. Again, he's way ahead, but he's ahead in lings and some hydras. I mean, that's not a great unit force at all. So we got ahead early, but that's really bad for the mid game, and it's certainly bad for the late game. Another factory, hellbats, tanks, a second armory to get my additional upgrades. So effectively, second factory. Because I've decided in this composition to do 3 barracks, that's part of my meat shield. I want this one to be producing tanks or Thors, not additional hellbats. That's sort of a decision I made, that I really like to have that extra output of marines instead of hellbats. But I do like a group of hellbats. So I like marines, hellbats, I stim on my marines, and then I want to have some tanks and then Thors if necessary. Get my +1 armor, and I'm soon going to get my +1 attack. I don't really focus on the marine upgrades. They're more of a meat shield, and they do good anti-air regardless of their upgrades. But I do want stim on it. Tank, tank, tank. Here's his force. If you look at the income tab, again, we're at 45 to 47. We're pretty close. He's getting more gas from me than I am, but I'm fine on gas, so that's fine with me. He decides to burrow everything and wait for a good time to attack out into me. Got my bunkers, remove these bunkers just in case. Got the extra money. 18 on this one, 16 on this one, so I've got a really good saturation here. With a couple mules dropped, I was in the $1,400 to $1,700 mark. He's got a better worker supply, but I'm really starting to crank out my production. Marines, tank, a Thor behind the tank, Hellbats, upgrades. Second, I thought I had a second Thor. No. Alright, so he just kind of pushed in here to see what I had. Let's look at his vision, my vision real quick. His vision real quick. You can see a little bit of what's going on. He puts 12 banelings down. So to add to this little trap, booby trap, puts a bunch of banelings. My +2 attack is going. My +2 armor is going. So I'm going to be +2/+2 pretty quickly. Is he at 0/0? I don't know if that's possible. I move out. He springs this trap on me, which is a really bad trap to spring on Hellbats. I mean, it's just, Marines are good, Hellbats are really tanky. This is just a bad idea. I mean, my Hellbats burn everything. He has 0 upgrades. 0/0. His entire grouping of upgrades is all 0/0. So he lost everything. If you just back up one quick more second, it was at 160 to 160. 160 to 160. Army value of almost 5,000 each. I'm at 46, but 5,000 each. 160 to 160. He springs his trap. 140 to 80. So he lost roughly 80. I lost 20. So he lost everything. I lost roughly nothing. He lost, 3,000 in minerals. I lost like a couple hundred. And yeah, my units are a bit damaged, but most of my force is here. He doesn't like Hellbats. He thinks they're stupid. I think his trap was stupid. I mean, I think the fact that he has no upgrades is stupid. +1/+1 he has. He's got +1/+1. I have +2/+1, and I'm about to have +2/+2. So I'm ahead in upgrades. I've got a better army. In the income tab, I'm at 60 now to his 40, so I was behind, but I was catching up the whole game. He took his 4th. No, that's his 5th, I'm sorry. That's his 3rd, 4th, 5th. Hellbats are a great meat shield. So are Marines. Now, he's sending swarm hosts, locusts at me, and I've got a tank, got some Marines and Hellbats rallying. All my buildings are rallying to here. I've got 2 starports ready for whatever I need, and I got 2 tanks on the high ground. So all I need to do is prevent these 3 units from killing me, and I'm fine. I'm going in, I'm going to kill his base step by step, not microing as much as I need to. Effectively, I mean, he had nothing. He had nothing. His units were gone. It was game over. So I just went in and killed everything. And I knew he's focusing all of his units over here. Because these are very expensive units, and you do not want these units on their own. Ever. You never want these units on their own. They're a support unit, like a tank. So the fact that they're on their own just means that that's all where his units would be. Killing this base bit by bit. And again, my tanks on the high ground have pretty good vision in this. Nothing is coming in. No damage is being done. And then, after I've killed off this base, and sent everything to kill off this base. I sent a couple Marines up and around, a couple up and around just to check for any extra bases, and then come up in here, kill this base. Go up to the top. I got a pretty sizable force here. I'm maxed out. I just push out, do a scan, and go kill everything. This base is empty. Come down here. What's funny, here's a little funny note. When these locusts pop out, splash damage from the Hellbats kill the protected hidden units. And I was having units go up to the last base, which he got up to a layer pretty quick, but it wasn't going to matter. I was maxed out. So he sprung a trap. It was a bad trap. I macroed up pretty strong. I was never too far behind, and considering the fact that I was going for production facilities to really start cranking, it was really important that I was a little behind and was not focusing on units. I had just enough units to protect me from dying, and then I got up the buildings I needed, basically, and then I can bring the army. So workers active. I was never far behind. Let's look at the resource collection. Here is where I might be a little behind, but I'm pretty much holding lockstep with him. Obviously taking an advantage there, a little bit here, but army value wise, I had enough to protect myself, and then I really started skyrocketing in my army value. If you look here. So this was all in crap units for him. This was in a lot of crappy units. So he was never really truly that much ahead, and then again I tapered off with him right before when I pushed. So when I pushed, which is the most important time, we were even. He lost units, he lost units. This was the immediate unburrow. This was a little bit later. So he basically, all of that early unit could have gone towards econ and bases and better units. It was a waste. I was slowly getting up to my units while being protected. If you look at the upgrades, this tells a big story here about how ahead I was. And if you look at the, again, the resource collection rate, how he quickly tapers off once I attack his base, and his army value never picks up again, and mine just keeps on going. I was supply capped for 56 seconds. So in a 21-minute game, 56-second supply cap, that's really good for me. I created a ton of workers. My APM was, fine. I'm always in the 130 to 140 range. I guess I could work on that. But I think this really is important for me right here. Time supply capped. Never. Very little. Good for me. All right.